Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special story. Today, we will learn English through a powerful and emotional journey. This is not just a travel story. It is about dreams, challenges, courage, and transformation. It is the story of one person who left everything behind to visit the United Kingdom. And through that journey, their entire life changed. As you listen, you will improve your English, but you will also feel every emotion, every struggle, and every victory. Let's begin. I grew up in a small town where life was simple. The streets were quiet, the houses were close together, and almost everyone knew each other. Every morning, I would watch airplanes fly high above the sky. Their sound was like a whisper, calling me to another world. I would look up and imagine myself inside, flying to distant countries, meeting new people, and living a life far bigger than the one I knew. But dreams often feel impossible when you are young and without money. My family was kind and hardworking, but we did not have much. Travel was something only rich people could do. For me, the idea of going abroad was like looking at the stars. Beautiful, but unreachable. Still, inside my heart, a small fire was burning. That fire grew stronger when I began learning English. At first, it was only a school subject, just grammar, vocabulary, and boring exercises. But slowly, I realized English was not just another subject. It was a key that could open doors to other countries, other cultures, and other opportunities. Every new word I learned felt like a brick placed in the bridge to my dream. I would practice late at night, whispering words to myself. Sometimes I spoke to the mirror, pretending I was giving a speech in another country. Sometimes I listened to songs in English, repeating every line until the meaning became clear. And one day, I made a promise to myself. One day, I will go to the United Kingdom. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I will. Years passed, and life continued with its ups and downs. I studied, I worked, and I tried to save money. Some days I felt strong and hopeful. Other days I felt lost, as if the dream was too far away. People around me often laughed when I spoke about traveling. You? To the United Kingdom? Do you know how expensive that is? Do you know how difficult the visa is? Their words cut deep, but I kept silent. Deep inside, I believed that dreams are not for the weak. Then, one evening, something happened that changed everything. I was at home, scrolling through my phone, when I saw an advertisement for a student program in the United Kingdom. It was about studying English in London for 3 months. My heart began to beat faster. This was it. This was the chance I had been waiting for. But there was one problem: the cost. I stared at the screen for hours, calculating in my head, thinking of possibilities. I did not have enough money, but sometimes life rewards the brave. I decided to apply anyway. I wrote my application with all my heart, explaining why I wanted to study in the United Kingdom, why English mattered to me, and how this journey would change my future. Weeks later, an email arrived. My hands were shaking as I opened it. The words appeared slowly in front of my eyes. Congratulations. You have been accepted. I could not believe it. My dream was no longer a dream. It was real. I was going to the United Kingdom. The preparation days were full of excitement and fear. I applied for a visa, collected documents, and prayed every day that nothing would go wrong. When the visa was finally approved, I cried. It felt like the universe had opened a door just for me. The day of my flight arrived. Standing at the airport, I looked at my family one last time. Their faces were filled with pride, but also with worry. They had never seen me travel so far. My mother whispered, "Be strong. Remember who you are." And don't forget, no matter where you go, this will always be your home. Her words stayed with me like a gentle hand on my shoulder. When I stepped onto the airplane, I felt two emotions fighting inside me: fear and excitement. Fear, because I was leaving everything I knew behind. Excitement, because I was finally entering the world I had only imagined. The airplane lifted off the ground, and with it, my old life lifted away too. After hours in the sky, the airplane landed in London. I looked out the window and saw the city lights shining like a sea of stars. My heart whispered, "You made it." As I stepped out, the cool air of the United Kingdom touched my face. It felt like a welcome. London was everything I had dreamed of, and more. The buildings stood tall with history. The streets were alive with people from every corner of the world. Red buses moved like rivers of color, and the sound of Big Ben echoed through the city. For the first time in my life, I felt small, but not in a bad way. Small in a way that made me realize how big the world truly is. The English school was a world of its own. Students came from Asia, Africa, South America, and Europe. We all had different faces, different accents, and different stories. But we were united by one thing: the desire to learn English. Every class was an adventure. Some days we laughed at our mistakes, other days we struggled with grammar. But together, we grew. I remember one teacher in particular. Her name was Sarah. She believed in me even when I doubted myself. She would say, "Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are proof that you are learning." Those words gave me courage. I began speaking more, practicing with strangers, and even standing in front of the class to give short speeches. The fear that once controlled me was slowly disappearing. But the journey was not only about English, it was also about life. Living in the United Kingdom taught me independence. I had to cook for myself, manage my money, and face loneliness in a new land. Some nights, I cried silently, missing home, missing the familiar taste of my mother's food, missing the warmth of family. But each tear made me stronger. There were moments of beauty, too. Walking across Tower Bridge at sunset, seeing Buckingham Palace, standing inside the British Museum surrounded by history, or simply sitting in a park with a cup of tea while people hurried by. Every small moment was a reminder that I was living the dream I once thought impossible. One unforgettable experience happened in Scotland. I traveled there during a short holiday. The mountains were tall and silent. The air was fresh, and the lakes looked like mirrors reflecting the sky. Standing there, I felt something powerful. It was as if nature itself was speaking to me, saying, "You are not small. You are part of something endless." That moment changed how I saw myself forever. The 3 months passed quickly, too quickly, and soon it was time to return home. On my last day in London, I walked alone along the River Thames. I watched the water flowing and thought about my journey. I came here with fear, with doubts, and with a dream. I was leaving with courage, with confidence, and with a new vision of life. When I returned to my hometown, everything looked the same. The streets were quiet, the houses close together, and the airplanes still flew high in the sky. But I was not the same. Something inside me had changed forever. I was no longer the person who only dreamed. I was now the person who had lived that dream. I realized the true meaning of travel. It is not just about seeing new places. It is about seeing yourself in a new way. The United Kingdom had given me more than I could have imagined. It gave me new friends, new knowledge, and most importantly, a new version of myself. From that day forward, I lived differently. I spoke with confidence, I believed in possibilities. And I knew that no dream is too big, no goal is too far, if you are ready to work for it. So, my friend, this was my journey to the United Kingdom, a journey that changed my life. And as you listened, I hope you not only learned English, but also felt inspired. Because maybe right now you also have a dream. Maybe people doubt you. Maybe even you doubt yourself. But remember this: dreams do come true. They come true when you believe, when you prepare, and when you never give up. The United Kingdom was my dream. What is yours?